A Course in Miracles. Lesson 15. My thoughts are images that I have made. It is because the thoughts you think appear as images that you do not recognize them as nothing. You think them, and so you think you see them. This is how your seeing was made. This is the function you have given your body's eyes. It is not seeing. It is image-making. It takes the place of seeing, replacing vision with illusions. This introductory idea to the process of image-making that you call seeing will not have much meaning for you. You will begin to understand it when you have seen little edges of light around the same familiar objects which you see now. That is the beginning of real vision. You can be certain that real vision will come quickly when this has occurred. As we go along, you may have many light episodes. They may take many different forms, some of them quite unexpected. Do not be afraid of them. They are signs that you are opening your eyes at last. They will not persist because they merely symbolize true perception, and they are not related to knowledge. These exercises will not reveal knowledge to you, but they will prepare the way to it. In practicing the idea for today, repeat it first to yourself, and then apply it to whatever you see around you, using its name, and letting your eyes rest on it as you say, "This blank is an image that I have made. That blank is an image that I have made." It is not necessary to include a large number of specific subjects for the application of today's idea. It is necessary, however, to continue to look at each subject while you repeat the idea to yourself. The idea should be repeated quite slowly each time. Although you will obviously not be able to apply the idea to very many things during the minute or so of practice that is recommended, try to make the selection as random as possible. Less than a minute will do for the practice periods if you begin to feel uneasy. Do not have more than 3 application periods for today's idea unless you feel completely comfortable with it, and do not exceed 4. However, the idea can be applied as needed throughout the day. Lesson 15. My thoughts are images that I have made. A detective gets the call at dawn. Possible homicide. He drives fast because the first hours matter in his world. Time of death, chain of custody, reconstruction, motive, suspect, closure. He steps into the room, and the first thing he sees is a body on the floor. Before any thought is added, there is only raw perception. Shape, color, position, temperature, silence. Then a thought arrives like a stamp hitting paper. A murder happened here. And instantly the room changes without anything in the room changing. The body becomes a victim. The room becomes a crime scene. The air becomes heavy with meaning. This is the lesson already operating. Thoughts appear as images, and that is why they are not recognized as nothing. Because the thought is not experienced as a thought, it is experienced as what I'm seeing. The detective does not say, "I am imagining murder." He says, "I see murder." That is, you think them, and so you think you see them. Now the eyes are given a job. Not the job of seeing what is there, but the job of confirming what the mind has already decided. That is, this is the function you have given your body's eyes. They are used as witnesses for a verdict already reached. That is, it is not seeing. It is image-making. The detective looks at a vase on the table. Yesterday it was decoration. Today it is a possible struggle point. Nothing about the vase changed. What changed was the thought laid over it. The same object now carries a new picture in the mind. That is an image that the mind made. The detective looks at a footprint near the door. Yesterday it would have been, "Someone walked here." Today it is,
The perpetrator entered or exited. The footprint did not announce its purpose. Purpose was assigned. That assignment is what manufactured evidence means in this context. Not fake facts. Manufactured meaning. Meaning glued onto neutral forms until the forms start testifying. That is how illusion is built. The detective starts building time, because time is the glue that makes the story feel solid. He needs before and after. He needs then. He needs when. Because without time, the images cannot line up into a case. Without time, there is no reconstruction. And without reconstruction, the mind cannot feel sure.
This is why time becomes the killer in the investigation. Not because truth is lost, but because the mind is trying to stabilize an image world that keeps shifting. Witnesses contradict each other. Memories distort. Evidence degrades. The mind panics because it wants certainty inside uncertainty. So it collects more, and more, and more. This is the ego's method everywhere. When the picture feels unstable, add more pictures. The detective finds a bullet in the wall. Now the bullet becomes a projector of certainty. Because if there is a bullet, there must be a gun. And if there is a gun, there must be a shooter. And if there is a shooter, there must be intent. And if there is intent, there must be motive. A whole universe appears from one assumed line of meaning. This is the same structure as projection. A projectile comes from a weapon, and the marks on the bullet match the barrel. In the mind, the marks are the images. They match the thought that fired them. Not because the world forced them to match, but because the mind is selecting and organizing perception to fit its own assumption. That is projection making perception. The detective keeps working the case, and the case starts working him. He sees threat everywhere. He hears danger in neutral statements. He feels urgency in silence. He begins to live inside the image he made. That is exactly what the lesson is warning about. Image making takes the place of seeing, replacing vision with illusions. Because vision, in the lesson, is not better detective work. Vision is the absence of the need to accuse reality. Vision is seeing without the demand that the scene mean guilt. Then something unexpected happens. The detective is staring at an ordinary lamp on a side table, and for a split second, there is a thin edge of light around it. It is not dramatic. It is not fireworks. It is subtle, almost easy to dismiss. But it interrupts the case. Because for that split second, the lamp is not evidence. It is just itself. No past, no future, no story, no function assigned, only presence. That is what the lesson calls the beginning of real vision. Not a supernatural effect, but a moment where the mind stops using the eyes to manufacture meaning. The detective feels a flash of fear. Not fear of the light, fear of what the light threatens. Because if the light is real, then the whole case might be built on assumptions. And if the case is built on assumptions, then the investigator is not a neutral finder of truth. He is a projector, looking for confirmation. So the lesson says, do not be afraid of the light episodes, because they are signs the eyes are opening at last. They do not persist because they are not knowledge. They are symbols. They are interruptions. They are training wheels for the mind as it learns to stop making images. Then the practice becomes simple and brutal. The detective looks at the lamp again and silently says, "This lamp is an image that I have made." Not meaning the lamp is not there as a form, meaning the meaning on the lamp is what he made. The charge on the lamp is what he made.
The story on the lamp is what he made. He looks at the body and says the same thing. He looks at the footprint and says the same thing. He looks at the hallway and says the same thing. He is not denying forms. He is withdrawing authorship from the world and returning it to the mind. That is the pivot of the lesson. My thoughts are images that I have made. Because if the images were made, they can be unmades. And if they can be unmades, then peace does not depend on solving the case. Peace depends on stopping the mind from using perception as a courtroom. The detective does not become careless. He becomes clear. He stops confusing seeing with proving. He stops confusing perception with truth. He stops confusing time with reality. And in that quiet, the world begins to lose its edge of threat and gain an edge of light. So here is the real question the lesson is pressing inside this crime scene metaphor. In this moment, what case is the mind trying to solve by turning neutral life into evidence? And what happens if the charge is withdrawn entirely?